everyone, my name is Rebecca and I am a supervisor at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Hamilton. I will be your host today for our episode of Boys and Girls Club TV. Today we have a very special guest who you may recognize as he's no stranger to our club. His name is Blaze Forgy and he works at Wellwood in Hamilton, which is a wonderful organization. So please welcome Blaze.
Thanks, Rebecca, and I'm so happy to be here. The Boys and Girls Club and Wellwood are two organizations that are near and dear to my heart, so I'm really excited to be able to be here with you and to work on this project together. Thanks.
We're really excited to have you here today too. So maybe we can start by talking a bit about what you do at Wellwood and what our partnership looks like with you.
Yeah, so at Wellwood, we provide supportive care programs for people on the cancer journey. So anywhere from people who, like adults who have cancer themselves or their loved ones and caregivers. But then as well, we provide programs for kids and their families too. So that's where the Boys and Girls Club has played an instrumental role and like a very big role in helping us run those programs. So we run a program twice a year for kids who are living around a diagnosis of cancer. So for kids living around loved ones or parents or grandparents who have cancer. So the Boys and Girls Club, so we are in partnership with them, and we have been for a long time, ever since we started the program. And they come in, so Boys and Girls Club staff come in, and they run cool recreational activities for the kids each night. And there's a meal, so everyone gets fed, and we work on homework together, and just it's a place for kids to be kids. So that's why I'm excited to be here and to be doing some self-care activities with you and with the kids and families of Boys and Girls Club, but then also Wellwood, because that's what we do in our kids program.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing. So I'm very excited to go through some activities that you've brought with us that some of our families and children and youth can use at home to help with relaxation and being calm. So I'll pass it along to you.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so let's get started. So first, I'm just going to go over a little bit of an overview of the materials that you'll need for the activities that we're going to do together. So, and as we go through to the different activities, if you don't have some of them, we'll go over different, your cat.
Mm-hmm. My cat is making an appearance.
We'll go through the different things, like different alternative things that you can find if you don't have those certain items. So, but there's not very many. So all you'll need is an ice cube. You'll need a jar or a container. So it can be anything from like a mason jar to a bowl or anything that you can keep some items in. And then you'll need something that isn't in the shape of a square. So a book, a magazine, a picture, you can draw a square and cut it out, anything like that. And then the rest is just, we're going to use our minds and, and you're going to need a few other smaller items, but we'll get there when we get there. Okay. First, so the activities that we're going to do today are all centered around being mindful. And so when we use the word mindful, what comes to my head is just bringing awareness to whatever I'm being mindful of. So if I'm being mindful of my breath, I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to pause and I'm going to think about my breath. So how does it feel? Am I doing it often? How does it make me feel afterwards? And then when is it important to take a breath? So when you're stressed, when you're overwhelmed, when you need a minute, and those types of things. And those might be feelings that we're feeling right now when we're at home and things like that. So, but we can also bring awareness to our thoughts, to those around us. So to be mindful of other people's feelings is really important. So our activities today are going to be around being mindful. So we're going to go right into some activities. So we're going to start with a breathing activity, and then we're going to get into some more activities, and then we're going to end with some more mindful breathing. So yeah, let's get started. So we're going to start with balloon breathing. So you don't actually need a balloon for this activity. All you need is your breath and your hands. So Rebecca, I'm going to ask that you follow along with my breathing exercise. So we're going to put our hands around our mouth as if we were going to blow up a balloon, so an imaginary balloon. And when we inhale, we're going to inhale. And then we're going to exhale as if we're blowing up a balloon. And we're going to do that 5 times. So really deep breaths. Make sure you're sitting up straight. And we're going to blow up our imaginary balloon. So let's go. We're going to do it 2 more times, not 5 times. 2 more. All right, and then we're going to let our balloon go. So we've tied up our balloon and we've blown it up, and then we're going to let it go. So that's a really simple one to do. I mean, it actually feels really nice. That's one of my favorites. And it's fun. So that's one. And then the next one is really simple. All you need, again, is your breath and your shoulders. So it's called shoulder roll breathing. So we're going to sit up straight in our chair or wherever we are. And when we inhale, we're going to rise our shoulders with our inhale. So when we're breathing in the air. And then as we exhale, we're going to roll our shoulders down. Okay, so it's going to ease up the tension in our shoulders. So we're going to do that 3 times. So 1. Okay, and 2. Okay, and last one. And exhale. And so when you are inhaling and exhaling, you can count to 1 or 3 or 4 or 5, but really it's whatever is more comfortable for you. So however much air is comfortable to bring in and to release, it's totally up to you. All right, so now now that we're a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more calm, we're going to go into our first activity. So I call this energy booster, and this is where you're going to need your ice cube. So Rebecca, you got your ice cube?
I've got my ice cube.
Okay. So, and now if you don't, oh, it's dripping everywhere. So I'm gonna wait. So if you don't have an ice cube tray at home, you can easily use like a sandwich baggie or anything like a butter container with no butter in it. Just anything that can hold the water while it freezes and it doesn't tip inside your freezer. So this activity I run with kids and youth for a way to get them to feel more energized. So it's a good activity for if you're close to exam time or you're at home and you kind of just need, I don't know about you, Rebecca, but because I've been home for so long, I just feel tired all of the time because I'm not in my regular routine. Yeah, so something to make it to energize me in my day. Something that I can do is use this ice cube energy booster. So we're going to grab our ice cube, and mine is really dripping. We're going to place it. So we're going to put our head down for 3 seconds. You can do longer, you can do shorter, whatever's comfortable for you. And we're going to put it at the base of where our neck meets the bottom of our head. So we're going to place it right there for 3 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, and we will remove it. So there's a lot of water dripping for that one. Ideally, you'll take it out right when you need it and do it. But the idea is that it kind of makes you more alert. So I don't know if when you wake up in the morning, if you find that splashing your face with cold water or even some warm water around your face, if that kind of makes your eyes less tired and you feel more alert. But that's another thing that you can do. Another thing that you can do is take your ice cube and put it in the palm of your hand. And you're going to slowly circulate the ice cube around all of your fingers. All right, and then you can also glide the ice cube down the roller coaster of your forearm there. It's very wet because we've had our ice cubes out for a little while. But the idea is because it's a different temperature, and when it hits your skin and your skin is warm, because your blood is warm, it makes you feel more alert and energized, and you're like, oh, like, whoa, like that's nice cold temperature. And just like if you do if you pour bucket of water on your cold water on your head, or you jump into a cold pool, you suddenly feel so energized. So that's one activity. Now we're going to move into the next one. So how do you feel, Rebecca, after that activity?
A little colder, but I feel more awake.
Yeah, and you can do it with warm items too. Like if you um, add like a warm cup of tea, if you're drinking tea, or warm anything. Like when you get your dinner and it's a little bit warm, you can touch your bowl or things like that. So warm is also if you're don't really like the cold, that's fine. So the next activity we're going to play is a game that you can do with the people in your home. So your siblings or your caregivers, or virtually like Rebecca and I are going to do today. But it's the guessing game. And the guessing game, how we're going to play, so you're going to need three. We're going to do three, but you can do as many as you'd like. You're going to have to find three common household items around your house. So a sock, a jar, get some grass from your backyard, kind of whatever it is that you find. And then you're gonna sit down with those items behind your back. We don't have to do that because we're doing it on Zoom. But you're gonna have the items behind your back, and then you're gonna ask your partner, so your loved one, caregiver, sibling, to close their eyes. And then you're gonna hand them that item, and you're gonna ask them to guess what that item is. So they're going to use a few of their senses to try to guess what that item is. And so the mindfulness piece is to try to be like to bring awareness to the sense of touch, the sense of smell, if you're using like a strawberry or whatever it is, or something that's scented, but not sight. So we're going to keep our eyes closed during the activity. So for the activity, I have three items here that I've picked for Rebecca to guess. So she's going to close her eyes. I'm going to hand her the item. She's going to feel it, smell it if she thinks that it's something that is scented. And then she's going to, with her eyes closed, she's going to try to guess what that item is. So we're going to get started. Rebecca, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. So the first item I'm going to hand her. Okay. Rebecca, do you have the first item?
I think I do.
Okay.
So it feels cold and smooth. I think it's a spoon.
It is in fact a spoon. So 1 point for Rebecca. And also, so what Rebecca did was she let us know kind of what the feelings are. Was it cold? Was it rough texture? And those types of things. So it's helpful to say those things out loud for yourself and for the other person too. Okay, so are you ready for the next item?
I am.
Okay. All right. Okay, do you have the next item?
I think so.
Okay.
Really small and rough.
Okay.
Does not smell good. I think it is some cat kibble.
Cat kibble is right. And I picked that specifically for you because I know you love your cats.
I do love my cats.
Right. So that was good. All right. Last item. Oh. Hopefully you didn't see that. Last item is coming to you, Rebecca.
Okay.
All right. Do you have the item?
I think I do.
Okay.
Really light. Got some ridges and smooth. I still smell cat kibble, but I think it is a light bulb.
You are right. That is a light bulb.
Awesome.
Yep. And to make it a little bit more maybe challenging, you can take items and wrap them in something. So if I was to give Rebecca the light bulb, maybe I will wrap it in toilet paper or tape or something or string or something that I have around the house to make it so that it's more difficult for her to guess. So that's fine. All right, the next or last activity actually is our worry jars. So I know that because we're all at home and maybe we're watching the news or we're listening to our parents kind of talk about different things, we might sometimes get a little bit worried, and it's totally an okay feeling to have. And I think even when even not right now, even kind of yesterday and tomorrow and 3 weeks from now, it's always good to have a worry jar with us, because it's kind of a feeling that that will come more than once. So we're going to ask, so we're going to get our jars. So Rebecca and I have already found our, Rebecca's using a bag. That's good. We've already found our items that we'd like to put into our worry jars. So we ask that before you go looking for your items, you look for items that either mean something to you. So it could be something like a memory, something that is like maybe your favorite smell, maybe a snack that's your favorite, something that brings you comfort. So that's one of the options that you can put into your jar. The other are things that feel or sound or make a sound that bring a sense of calmness to you. So Rebecca and I are going to show you our jars, and this is definitely something that I'm going to keep close to me in my workstation at home for when, not even just worry, but I think maybe just a sense, if we have a sense of if we're nervous, if we're angry, if we're sad or upset, or we're just feeling overwhelmed. They're great things to have. And Rebecca put hers in a baggie, which is super cool because that is something that she can carry around with her. So I think maybe you can have it in a jar or a container or something like that for home. But if you wanted to put it in a baggie, you can carry it with you where you go. So maybe we'll do one item at a time. So I'll do one item, Rebecca will do one, and we'll kind of just touch on why we put it in our jar and how it'll help us. So do you want to go first?
Sure. So the first item that I have in my jar is a ring that was my grandmother's. So I chose this because it has a lot of meaning to me. And when I look at it, I remember the love and comfort that she provided to me while she was here on earth.
Nice. Okay. My first item is chapstick. Because whenever I'm nervous, I know that I bite my lips a lot. I bite on them. So I think this is, it's not only to put it on when I'm feeling nervous, but it's a good reminder to bring awareness to the fact that I do that. So I'm going to put that in my jar.
The next item I have is a piece of rock coral that came from a vacation that I went on. And this was found on the beach already. I chose it because it just is a nice memory of when I was on warm, sunny beaches. And I also like the texture of it. I like to run my finger along it. It's soothing. So that's why I chose this one.
So my next one is actually also a little rock, just because I really, I like the outdoors. So I think this is a good reminder for me to, if I am feeling stressed or overwhelmed, then it's a good reminder for me to take a walk. That I can take a walk in nature, and that'll calm me down. So that one in there.
I have next a button. It's the symbol was an organization I used to be involved in, and I have a lot of fond memories. Again, I base a lot of my stuff on places where I can go back to that were happy, that were positive. So this is a nice reminder of those times that I was involved.
Nice. The next I have are a set of keys, because they make a sound. They make a cool jingle sound. So, and I think for me too, I like to when I'm nervous or when I'm stressed, I always like to fidget and like to move. So to have keys to move around my fingers or to make a sound might be helpful for me. So I'm going to put this in my kit.
The next I have is a photo, and it has my family, my partner, some family friends, and it's just a fun, happy memory, and it gives me smiles every time I look at it.
Nice. All right, the next one I have is an elastic. So similar to my last one, something because I always like to have my hands moving while I'm working, or just always. So I put an elastic in here because it's actually something that I do use a lot. I take them off my elastic ball and I just play with them and fling them around and things like that. So I'm going to put that in my worry kit.
The last item I have is a meditation book. So it fits in my baggie, and basically it's nice because I can flip through the different pages and find a daily meditation, and in the theme of mindfulness, it helps bring me back and feel centered and go through my thoughts and help process them.
Nice, nice. And my last item is a pencil, because I really like to write everything. So I like to write just for pleasure, for other people to read. I like to jot things down. It just helps me organize things in my head. So whether that be my thoughts or my grocery list or whatever it is. So it's a good reminder for me to, when I'm feeling a certain way, to remind me that I can use that to write. So now that let's see your worry kit all together, Rebecca.
So I need to put my items in.
And these are just two examples of mine and Rebecca's worry kits, I'm going to call them, because it doesn't need to be a jar. It can be in a bag or on your table. It doesn't even need to be in something. But these are just our examples. And so you can make yours however you want. It can have 20 items. It can have one item. However you want to make it, it's totally up to you. And I really hope to maybe if we see some people's worry kits on social media, that'd be really cool. And they can, like anything from, you can have, a crayon in your kit to symbolize your favorite color. So many different cool things that you can do. So that was our last activity for today, but we do have some more breathing exercises because that was a lot of talking that we did. It was a lot of activities, a lot of sharing. So now we're going to just bring it back down to end off, and then Rebecca's going to close off for us today. Okay. All right. So the third breathing exercise that we're going to do today is called dragon breathing. So dragon breathing requires a lot of air. So you're going to inhale as much air as possibly comfortable for you. And then you're going to exhale very forcefully. So you're going to let it out like a fire lets out, or like a dragon lets out fire. So Rebecca, with me, okay? We're going to breathe all of our air in. And really release it like a dragon releases fire. So that's a fun one. That's a really good one for if you're experiencing anger or frustration. It's a really good one to just let it out in whatever way is comfortable for you. That's one. The next is square breathing. So we're going to grab that square surface or thing that we had. Sorry, I'm just going to move it around. So I'm using a book. So mine's more of a rectangle, doesn't matter. And Rebecca's using a book too. So we're going to guide our fingers around the four corners of our book. So we're going to start in the left corner. And when I count, so we're going to count to 4 each time we go around. And I'm going to instruct whether we're breathing in or whether we're breathing out. I'm going to take my book. We're going to inhale. So we're going to breathe in. So Rebecca, you're going to breathe. I'm going to count because I can't do them at the same time. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then exhale. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and a little bit of a pause if you need it. And then we're going to inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then exhale. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. So that was that. And this book says go be kind. So I think that's another important message to be mindful. We need to be mindful of how kind we're being to the people around us. All right. And the last breathing exercise that I'm going to do is called rainbow breathing. So for this one, I'm going to share the screen quickly so that you can see a rainbow. You can also, so if you don't have, something with a rainbow on it or a phone with a picture, Google a picture of a rainbow, you can also visualize it in your head or draw one or whatever works for you. So I am going to share my screen. So I have, Rebecca, can you see the?
I can.
Okay, perfect. So there are instructions here. So we're going to place our finger at the bottom of the rainbow. So on either side, I'm going to choose the left side. And we're gonna breathe in through our nose and trace the red part of the rainbow until we reach the very top. So let's do that. So we're gonna trace it. We're gonna breathe while we do it. I can't do it because I'm talking, but Rebecca's gonna demonstrate.
Mhm.
And then as we kind of go down, just like we did in our book, in our square breathing exercise, we're gonna exhale. So we're gonna release that air until we get back to the bottom. All right, and then you repeat it with each color. So then you move to orange and yellow and green and blue and purple and so on. So this breathing exercise is helpful for if you need to kind of bring that mindfulness, bring your attention to your breathing for a longer period of time, because there's more colors and things to go through. So if you're looking for breathing for a little bit of a longer time, you can use the rainbow breathing. Okay. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Okay, so that's all I had for all of you today. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you can take some of this and share it with the people around you and with yourself as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Blaze, for joining us today. I know I really appreciated it, and I know everybody who's watching has as well. I'll definitely be taking some things away and using them in my day-to-day, and I hope that everybody watching at home has found at least one technique that works for them. So be sure to tune in next Wednesday for our next episode of Boys and Girls Club TV. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe so you can get all of the recent updates on the videos that we're uploading daily. Until we see you next week, take care and stay safe.
Yeah, thank you. Goodbye.